Okay, so my question for you guys is for a bride who's coming into the shopping process for the first time, they've never done it before, they're coming to your boutique, what's something that they should know about bridal dress shopping or coming into this process that they probably don't know? I feel like even when it comes to timelines, stuff like that, people are usually quite shocked when they hear how long things actually take.
It's been, and I have to say before we answer this question, it's been an interesting season this year as far as timelines go. It's been, we're not gonna lie, it's been a little crazy. Like we've gotten calls saying, I'm getting married tomorrow, and we're like, pull your socks up, ladies, we're here all night. Like we've had those conversations because we're still adjusting to life, I feel like, from the last few years. So timelines for us has been a hot topic.
Yes, and we're going to address the timelines in a second. But do you want to talk about just kind of what to expect when you're coming in for the first time?
Yeah, where do I start? A lot of brides don't realize that, like, you know, it's okay, you can shop the store. We're not going to talk, again, like I said, we're not going to talk about sizing. Like, your stylist is there to guide you and like take care of you and
Be your cheerleader.
Be your cheerleader. Yes, absolutely. And advocate for you as well if that's a thing that's needed. And yeah, in terms of timelines, what we like to say is that I will say this, disclaimer. We can work with any timeline.
Yes.
We can get you a dress regardless of your timeline.
There's a couple designers we cannot do rushes with.
I understand that, but we can get them a dress.
Yes, absolutely.
You are not going.
Maybe not the dress.
Maybe not, but we will guide you and make sure that you don't fall in love with a dress that you can't have.
Right.
Is what I'm trying to say by that.
Yes. That totally makes sense.
But in general, do you want to talk about timelines in general because you're very good at it?
Yeah, absolutely. So typically, a great time to start is about 12 to 14 months out. Okay.
And this shocks people.
Yes.
This does shock people because they're worried that styles are going to change.
Right.
And they're like, I can't commit. I can't pull the trigger. Something's going to change and I'm going to change my mind. It goes by fast, guys.
It does.
Like really fast. And styles don't change like overnight.
No.
In the sense that that's a very healthy timeline to start with.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
So fast fashion, or just fashion in general, has a season. Trends are happening every season. You know, you got your fall, winter, spring, summer. With bridal actually has a longer shelf life.
Right.
So certain, like we see some of the trends happening last season, they're going to continue on for the next at least 2 to 3 years.
Yes. And we see that through alterations. All the time.
So don't panic. That trend of a basque waistline will still be here in 2026. We are just getting started with some of these bigger trends that just came to light. But the reason we say 12 to 14 months, and mind you, okay, so you're engaged. Congratulations. That's awesome. Find your venue and pick a date.
Yes.
Those are the two key things to do prior to coming to shop.
Please.
Because so many things. Okay, well, first we need to know when you're getting married.
Yes.
You're getting married next month, or you're getting married in 2 years. And then
venue.
venue.
Venue can change the whole feel of the dress. Like the venue is it's got to match the dress.
Absolutely. And just have a little bit of idea of what the vibe of the wedding, like what's the theme? Are we going a little modern? Are we going a little more classic? So just fine, but you don't have to have that completely narrowed down. So, okay, so you come for your shopping, first time ever stepping into a store. A lot of brides, I say, come with an open mind, because a lot of brides come and they're like, I want this. This exact dress.
This is a really big one.
It's so different when you try it on. Try everything.
With this, you would not believe the amount of brides that come in for their alterations, and guess what dress it was that they tried on? That's the one that they picked.
The very first one.
The first one.
Yep.
The first one. And it wasn't even, a lot of brides will say to us, I wanted a ball gown, and they're in a fit and flare. Yeah. Like it's usually the complete opposite, because it's not on your body. So explain more of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these dresses have zero hanger appeal, and of course, when you're scrolling through Pinterest, you're seeing these dresses But again, you're probably seeing them, especially for our brides, you're probably seeing them on a size 4, 6, 10 model, which may look a lot different. And every single person that dress will look different on.
Yes.
So it's not about the looking, it's how you're feeling in the dress.
Correct.
And like you said, a lot of brides come and they try on the very first dress and like, wow, this is beautiful, we'll continue, but then we always come back to that first one. Okay, great. So you say yes to the dress. That's fantastic. So now we go into our part of the business. We're dealing with the designers. So the actual production time of a dress does not take 8 to 9 months.
Now, can I just say with your team, with your team, these ladies have so much experience when it comes to the back end of designing the gown. So anyone who is visiting us for the first time and saying, more to love, what are they about? Look them up, because they aren't just selling dresses, they actually have years of experience in the production of the dresses, which to me is invaluable knowledge that you're not necessarily going to get everywhere. Right?
Oh, yes. Thank you for
Thank
that.
you for saying that.
That's
Yes.
awesome.
I was very impressed by that. I was just like, wait a minute, this is crazy. I had no idea. So back on to the back end.
So the designer end of things, these dresses aren't just hanging in a warehouse somewhere.
Yeah.
And we're not just pulling your size and having it shipped to us.
Right.
Now, in some cases, yes, that may be some of our better sellers, they might have stock, but that's very on rare occasions, and that is accessible to everybody around the world. So if we are pulling something for a rush bride, for example, we're always checking what is available within that time frame.
Okay.
But going to a brand new dress that is being made for that bride, going back to, it does not take 6 to 9 months to make that physical dress. But what it is that every designer has a production queue. So these dresses get slotted in to, depending on when we want them to ship.
Right.
And they have to get their fabrics, they have to gather their notions, they have to
Process.
go through all of those
Huge.
production areas. Okay, then it gets cut. Then you go to the sewing, then you go through quality control. So again, these are in stages that happen in the designer's end, and then the shipping, and then all.
And also, if you're doing customizations to your
yes.
dress, like if we're
Hold it
raising the
up.
neckline,
Yeah.
closing the plunge,
Yeah.
adding
Yep.
a slit, swapping a top and a skirt, the list goes on.
Yeah.
We have to have those discussions with the designer about the specifics of those customizations so that they're done correctly.
Right.
There's a lot of back end stuff that the owners really have to do that we don't think about as consumers.
Right.
Right?
And then you were talking about shipping, so we
Right.
want to also have a little bit of loo time if, heaven forbid,
Yes.
something arrives incorrect
Yes.
and we need to have something changed or swapped or fixed
So
or
keeping
whatever,
that in
remade.
mind, like there's a backup plan for a backup plan for a backup
Yes.
plan. Right?
And this is why
Always.
you need so many
Always.
months.
Yes.
Give
Yes.
yourself that time, definitely.
Yeah. To make it a seamless process, you know, we're all human, like we want to be prepared for anything, I think,
Yeah.
when it comes to the businesses, right?
Yeah.
Well, and I think COVID really taught us that, right?
Huge, yeah.
With going through the logistic, like just the shipping and receiving and all
Yes.
that. And so we're now adding a little bit of extra time, like a buffer. But so we ideally would like that bride's dress here in our store about 4 to 5 months before the wedding. That's a comfortable time for them to come in, because also too at 5 months, if they haven't decided on their accessories, that meet the dress appointment is a perfect time to be like, okay, this is like your
Right.
last chance.
Absolutely.
We still have to order that.
Right.
So
Great
that 4 to 5 months is just comfortable. You know it's here. You know it looks great. We got your accessories done. Now you may still be looking for your shoes or all of your other things that you want to go with the dress. And then you go to start alterations about, what, 3, 4 months?
Even more. So what we have been telling brides recently, probably in the last couple years, is that when you know when your expected delivery date of your gown is going to be, whatever date that is that you get. Now that can change. It depends, right? Because we talk about having those buffer times.
Right.
But when you get from the boutique, okay, this is the expected delivery date, at that time, that's when you should be booking your alterations. Because what our team will do is say, okay, it's arriving around the week of January 15th, we're gonna start your first fitting there. with knowing that if anything changes with the boutique, we can always move those appointments around. But getting the time slots is really, really important when it comes to the alteration process, because as you said, that 12 to 14 month time span, we also need that for alterations because we're women. Our bodies change, we fluctuate. We don't know what we're going to be 3 months from now, 2 weeks, like we're women. So we need to have that lead time for alterations to be able to follow you right up till your wedding day, to know that our team can handle the volume. And handle those last minute tweaks.
So we tell brides to reach out to an alterationist from our list, whoever that is, based on their location, because we see brides from all over Ontario, actually out of province as well, I should say, in the US. So we tell them to reach out to an alterationist after they purchase their dress, give them the wedding date and the approximate arrival date so that they can be on the calendar. That you would say that's good advice.
Great idea.
The earlier the better.
And the other thing that we're finding this season and a bit of last season is brides are starting alterations November, December, Jan. So normally that would be a bit of our off season, but a lot of brides are starting the bulk of their work. So if they purchased a sample, for example, or they have selected a dress earlier in time and it came in a bit earlier.
If you want a lot of customizations, like the earlier you start, the better.
The earlier you start, there is a misperception of, oh my gosh, if I start in November and my wedding is July, say, of the following year, what if I fluctuate? Like, how can my body possibly be the same? You are correct. But getting the bulk of that work, especially customizations, is really detrimental, because then it gives you more availability of time. You can really start seeing that vision come to life, and we follow you all the way up to the day anyways.
Adjustments can always be made closer to the wedding.
But it's hammering out the big ticket items that brides might be nervous about leading into the alterations world.
I feel like some of us, we can fluctuate, our body can feel different literally every single week. We do like to follow our brides as close to the wedding as we can, but we like to start as early as possible to get the initial evaluation done of what work we're gonna be getting into as we go throughout the process. And it's nice that you've got multiple appointments and you're starting early, because you can kind of slowly see it change and be part of the process with us. I find it's more scary when it's like, okay, here's my dress, I'll pick it up the week of the wedding and everything will be done.
That gives me heart palpitations.
Oh my God. You want to see it change along the way. You want to be part of it. You want to have your voice included as things are changing, because, you might adjust one area and it might make another area of the dress look different. Or, you might change your mind. Like you said, you might put it on and be like, you know what, like, I'm not loving this neckline anymore, and it's months and months later, and now we're going in and we're making adjustments. So we like to start early and kind of slowly make those changes along the way, see you multiple times and let you be part of the change little by little, and make sure you're feeling good about every step of the way.
And trust the process. Right? And leave it up to the professional.
Purchasing online. At the end of the day, you have to say to yourself, is it worth it?
Like, there's just so many unknowns. It's the unknown, right?
It is. Glue, glue, glue,
and it turns yellow. It turns
gluing,
yellow.
like appliques.
They are gluing appliques. Bead work.
Every price point in our store, there is unlimited sizing opportunities for that bride who needs it.
That's amazing.
Price range of alterations. That's the most common question we get about alterations. You think you've seen it all until you haven't.
And then you're like, well, okay.